The Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Let's go. Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, The Bottom Line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's up, my guy?
You, baby.
It's a little cold.
I'm fired up today.
You ready?
I tell you.
It must be mock. Somebody must have came out with a mock draft.
I mean, Mel Kiper's mock draft has me all kinds of fired up today.
Before we go there, Maz, I need you for 2 seconds. You know we're excited to watch the winning season with the Magic Johnson deal on HBO, right?
I saw number 3 last night.
All right, so I got behind a little bit. I wasn't excited after 1. You know, you and I talked.
Yeah.
Wasn't excited. I said, oh, this looks like it's going to be some BS. Didn't know about John C. Reilly playing Dr.
Winning
Buzz.
time.
Didn't know about it, right? Oh, man, these last 2 episodes, hey, I love it. I love it. What do you think about it?
I like number 3 a lot. The third one is the best of the 3
Really?
so far.
Do I have to give it another shot?
I
Because
do.
I'm telling you, it's
I
just
do.
disastrous.
Did you watch 2?
Yeah. I watch it. I don't like it when they talk to the camera. They
only turn their heads
I
once in a
hate
while.
that. It's so
When they break the
hokey.
fourth wall.
Oh, it's so
I think
hokey.
the kid that plays Magic,
Yeah.
he looks like it's Magic again.
I like Norm Nixon. And I think what I'm loving so much about it, and I know we got to get back on track.
You're fine, dude. We got all kinds of time.
I know you fired up.
I'm fired up about this, too.
What you talking
What's
about?
up, Sam? What's up,
I was
Alex?
really looking forward to it, and I feel like it's kind of crappy.
The reason episode 1 was awful. First half of episode 2 was bad. His mom was a little hard. She was a little hard, you know what? But the end of episode 2 and then all of episode 3, it's letting you know like the development of the Lakers.
Pat Riley.
Exactly. You're getting to see Pat Riley as Adrian Brody. You get to see, you get to see Dr. Bust and what he had to go through, the Jerry Tarkanian. I don't want to ruin it for people, so I won't say too much. You get to see that happen. And then you also get to see the side of Magic we never saw. See, we saw Magic as the pretty smile. I know my dad knew him. My dad knew him in Michigan State. My dad knows the Magic. I didn't know that. We see the smile, the Starbucks, you know, what happened out there. Everything is nice with Magic. Hey, it's Magic. It's showtime. It's Magic. You're seeing behind the scenes. You're seeing how he contracted, quote unquote. You're seeing how, his attitude was, quote unquote, before he got there. So I love it because you're finding out a little bit more than you were privy to as a young kid.
It's great. I love the marriage too of Pat Riley and his wife Chris. They're still happily married all these years.
She's a stud.
Yeah, it's really cool. Get back on
Get back in.
Winning Time on HBO.
All right, you got it. Guys, what's trending today, I'll tell you this much. I saw this announcement earlier today from the USGA that they are going to have, I believe, 8 new USGA events at Oakland Hills coming over the years, including amateurs and women's U.S. Opens and such. The men's U.S. Open in 2034 and 2051 announced at Oakland Hills. And I'm thinking to myself,
Will I be alive?
2051?
I can't wait.
Will I even be here?
I can't wait.
2051?
What event do you know that schedules something 30 years out? I mean, this is 30 years from now.
The Olympics don't even do that.
I'll be 89.
I mean,
Hey, bro, can you wheel me there?
Of course.
Thanks,
I
man.
got you.
I appreciate
so
it.
Tony Paul, our friend from the Detroit News, broke this tweet out early, and I'm thinking it's a typo, right? I mean, they got open dates in 28 and 29.
They got to fix the clubhouse.
Like 2051.
Now it's very ironic that it burned down in the year they announced that they were going to have 2 more.
2051. What is that?
That gives you enough time to burn the next one down and start again.
I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive here, but that's just. I mean, that's incredibly.
At least
dumb.
Alex could go and walk
Almost.
comfortably there. Sam too.
Here's the thing: what's going to change in 2051? How will they even be watching games? Will everything be through Oculus? Like, will it be? Will they have? I heard somebody say they'll have jetpacks and you'll be able to watch it from the sky. But you got to stay out of the flight path of Bryson DeChambeau's son by then. Jesus Christ!
Oh my God!
I mean, seriously. I mean, Tiger's kid is going to have a kid.
For real. That's what, 29?
Tiger's kid might be a grandpa by then.
That's 29 years. Charlie's what, 13? Or Charlie's 11?
I mean,
so that makes him 40?
He'll be at Perkins plenty of times by then.
I tell you what, we know who's going to win that one, though. Charlie probably win that one.
Yeah, right.
40 years old.
In his final major. Right? I mean, I cannot believe it that they scheduled that event that far out. They don't do Super Bowls. They don't do Olympics that far out. I don't know why the USGA does that. I got to believe that's the last thing on this. 2050.
Were they that bored?
Why not 2050?
Why not 24?
I'm glad they locked it up already. It's locked up.
Just like the gates at Oakland right now.
Guys, big show today. We are going to be talking to Scott Bischoff coming up. 236 staff writer, draft expert for the football guys. I believe you can hear them right here on Woodward Sports as well.
They got their brand new show starting.
Very excited.
Him and Russell Brown.
Yes, very excited for him and Russell Brown to join the network here and do all this draft talk because, guys, look, this is, I think most sports fans, if you're in the city of Detroit, you can't get enough of this stuff, this mock draft. I certainly can't get enough of this stuff. I'm not sure if any of these mock drafts are remotely accurate at all. But nonetheless, it is fun to talk about.
Yeah, they're fun to talk about. Usually they come out within, once every 2 weeks or so. I think people come out with them, maybe even once every week. I know our own Adam Baydoun does mock draft Mondays. But, things change from day to day. Like today, Malik Willis is now in his pro day. So, things will probably change with the way people perceive him. Day to day, the people want to check these mock drafts. You want to say, hey, are my guys being drafted where I want them to be drafted? Right. Do these people think like I think? Am I wrong? Am I far off? And if I am wrong, please educate me and tell me why. I think that's what people love about the mock draft.
And, of course, the Urban Meyer story continues as well. Urban Meyer being written about that he didn't know who Aaron Donald was or who Deebo Samuel was. I've got some inside information on that I'll share with everybody coming up in the next hour. But first, let's jump into this mock draft, if we could, Braylon, because Mel Kiper has been doing this for a long time. He has created a business that is almost like a big-time marketing agency, how Mel Kiper became the guy to put these mock drafts
Got
out.
a Mel Kiper story for you. It involves Maz's favorite guy, Stan the Man Edwards. So this is the year I'm getting drafted. We're in New York. Stan. Yeah, he loves you, Maz. This is New York. This is the year I'm getting drafted. We're eating at ESPN Zone. So it's my family and I want to say it's Thursday. I want to say it's on Thursday. Draft is on Saturday. This is back in the day where draft is Saturday and Sunday.
That was the best way to do it, by the way.
I agree.
No, it wasn't. Tuesday morning, so I could take off of school.
Okay, get out of here, man. Usually I agree with you. I like the Saturday, Sunday, because you just can watch it throughout the week. You don't have to worry about watching it Thursday night and miss half the draft, and then Friday night, got to change your night around on Friday. Tuesday, I was in school. But, so it's Thursday, we're at ESPN Zone. Now, Mel Kiper has never ranked me high. Like I always, even that going into my senior year, Mel had me third wide receiver behind Mike Williams, who wasn't even playing that year.
Wow.
And Mark Clayton from Oklahoma. The year before that, he had me way down the list. So said some things about me during the draft process. And my dad saw Mel Kiper walk into ESPN Zone.
And here we go.
You know how Stan is. Stan is a pit bull when you talk about his kids, man. So as Mel Kiper is walking into ESPN Zone, we're walking out. We've had our meal. We're leaving. We're walking out. And I see him, and I'm like, hey, before I could turn around to tell my dad that Mel Kiper was there, I see a bolt of lightning flash by me. Walks up to Mel Kiper. Hey, what you say about my son? Where's he going? He was like, hey, how you doing, Mr. Edwards? Your son's a tremendous talent. I think he's definitely going on the top 5 picks. He was like, that's not what you said all year. What's going on? But my dad was just messing with him. Mel Kiper was about to poop himself. He was about to poop himself. I was like, Dad, come on, let me take the pit bull off of him. But
I love
Mel Kiper, it was a great moment.
That is so
Was
great.
Stoney there too?
I thought Mel Kiper's piece was about to fall off his head, man.
Oh my gosh. That is so good.
It was only room for 1 piece, not 2.
My goodness. So, guys, here's the deal with the Mel Kiper mock draft. Let's put that full screen back up, Alex. He's got Aiden Hutchinson going number 1. Obviously, that's what I think by all accounts, that's a slam dunk. Number 1 overall pick, Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. He's got the Lions taking Kyle Hamilton, the safety.
That's a reach.
And he says it's a reach, and he says it's a safe pick. It's a safe floor. Pair him up with
Tracy Walker.
Thank you, Tracy Walker's
teamwork.
Teamwork, yeah. At 4, Drake London, wide receiver. Kayvon Thibodeau goes 7 to the Giants. Jordan Davis continues to move up that draft board, going 13 to the Texans. Malik Willis, number 20 to the Steelers. The Packers get the wide receiver Treylon Burks at 28. And the Lions take Matt Corral, 32, in the final pick of the first round. How's he have
Atlanta and Carolina not taking a quarterback?
I don't know if he believes in these quarterbacks. But I'll tell you this much. I'm going to tell you who the Lions are going to draft. And I'm going to do it next. And there's going to be people that hate me for it, and that's fine. But the more I see this, the more I believe it's going to happen. So I think people here in Detroit need to start preparing for it. We'll have that for you next. This is Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, The Bottom Line.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down.
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires. That hits.
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy and The Bottom Line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold into New Orleans.
Got it.
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Syntron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over. Anything can happen in March.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey gang, want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac located in Dearborn. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06 flat plane V8 capable of 670 horsepower, making it the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in production. How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds? For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com. CorvetteKing.com. For all your other Chevy and Cadillac needs, let me tell you something. Get off your heels and into some wheels. Come on down today. We're practically giving them away. Don't think about that chip shortage. Come on right away.
Fake
Les
news.
Stanford Chevrolet. How about that?
Find new roads, baby.
Just made that up all by myself.
I love it.
Come on, baby.
I love it, man.
Guys, we're talking NFL draft. Malik Willis is a big name. Mel Kiper has him going number 20 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We've never believed that. We've always said he's going to be the first guy off the board.
Braylon Edwards, Mel Kiper has the Lions taking Kyle Hamilton at 2, and he has the Lions taking Matt Corral, the quarterback from Ole Miss, at 32. You ready for this?
The good thing is Mel Kiper is nowhere near always right.
That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Hell of a pro day today.
And he is having his pro day today. 72 passes, 1 hit the ground.
Because it was. There you go.
It was a drop.
Look. I mean, this guy. I think Alex has the video. Just take a peek at this guy.
He's built like a tank. Oh,
guys, I'm
right
going to tell you something right now. Malik Willis is going number 2 to the Detroit Lions. The more I talk to people, the more I hear the chatter, the more I see him play. And I was on him. Who's the first quarterback that I mentioned when we started the show in August?
I told you.
You said Malik Willis.
I've always been a Malik Willis guy.
We kind of laughed about it.
You did.
As the weeks went on.
And I'm telling you, why would you, if you're the Detroit Lions, okay, think about this too. If you're going to take a quarterback at 32, why take the 5th best quarterback?
Yeah.
When you can take the first best quarterback in Malik Willis, and you have the perfect situation for him. You can let Jared Goff start this year. You can allow Malik Willis to develop a year and learn the NFL schemes, because that's the big knock on him, is that the scheme that he played in at Liberty was not an NFL scheme. Well, put him here in Detroit. Let him be in the room Let him learn behind Jared Goff. Let him learn these offensive schemes. Let him learn NFL defenses. You do not have to rush him on the field immediately. This is a rebuild. It is year 2 of a rebuild. And I mentioned this the other day. Yeah. Who are the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. None of them started week 1, year 1. You do not have to do it. That does not mean success. So I think that the Detroit Lions are almost nutty if they pass on this kid. Because if he turns into something, if he turns into a Lamar Jackson, if he turns into a Patrick Mahomes, hell, if he turns into a Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
You are going to vomit all over your shoes that you don't have this guy, and you're going to be calling for Brad Holmes' head.
Well, the interesting thing is you'll be vomiting again. Like, just listening to your point, I just think back about how many quarterbacks have the Detroit Lions passed on in the past 5 years. You know, you can even just
say many.
Exactly, the past 5 years. And this is another situation where this is a guy who you're watching the film, you're watching the tape, you've seen the Senior Bowl, you've heard what they've said about him. Like, the guy has talent. The guy has this type of talent. This guy, we talked yesterday, we talked about watching that game with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. We talked about watching, like, every GM, every front office guy, I got to have me a quarterback like that. Not even just those two guys. When you're watching Burrow or you're watching Kyler Murray, you're watching Lamar Jackson, you got to have a quarterback like that
Allen.
To succeed nowadays in life. And not only that, you got to have, to win, you got to have a quarterback on that rookie deal. Like, I'm watching it more and more, I'm paying attention to that rookie deal. I'm looking at Joe Burrow and last year and this year. I'm looking at what the Chargers are doing out there with Herbert. You get a guy, what's up, D-Mac? You get a guy in Malik Willis, he comes there and he competes. You have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. You have a good running game. You got a tight end that's made the Pro Bowl and T.J. Hockenson. You've shored up the wide receivers to a certain extent so far. You got DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You bring in Josh Reynolds. They're going to draft one potentially. So you don't even necessarily put him in a bad situation like a Justin Fields last year who had an awful offensive line, an inconsistent backfield. You're putting him in a decent position. So he may get the starting job by week 4, week 5, and come in and they can ease him into it even as a starter. So I think if you want to compete, you got to have one of these type of quarterbacks. Who knows if you'll have another chance at the end of it? And like you said, why take the 5th best when you can take the 1st or 2nd best in Malik Willis? And you don't know what you're going to do in that draft next year. You don't know if they're going to be able to draft Ohio State C.J. Stroud. You don't know if they're going to be able to draft Alabama Bryce Young. Here he is right here. So you know what? Not necessarily a bad call by you, big guy.
Listen, man, we got a story coming up a little bit later on our rundown here that I looked in last night. Pro Football Talk, Michael David Smith. There was word that the Dum Dum brothers were going to take Justin Herbert. They gave him a look. The Lions actually gave him a look.
You're talking about Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia.
Yeah, the Dum Dum brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew who you meant. For those
well, no, they all know. Everyone that knows Lions knows what I'm talking about.
Very good.
So a couple of years ago, they did actually look into taking this guy when, of course, they did not, and you know the rest of the story. So taking this kid, if he's a flop, even. We don't even know what's his name at San Francisco is going to do.
Trey Lance.
We hear all these things, but we really haven't seen much about him. So you're going to see the same thing about Malik Willis. They're going to make packages for him if they do take him. You know, it's going to be Jared Goff. There's going to be a couple of plays for Malik Willis. And then if he flops, what did you lose? You lost the opportunity to maybe draft the 2nd or 3rd best defensive line guy that you wanted. But if you do take him, you've got to trade back up into that 1st round somehow, some way, and get your defensive end. Because he ain't going to be around at 32.
Let me ask you this question. If he is a flop, which is a possibility, right? I mean, look at Baker Mayfield, 1st overall. Look at Mitchell Trubisky. There's a million quarterbacks taken in the top 5 that have been flops. There is no guarantee. And I bet you there's more flops than there are good picks in the top 5 when it comes to the quarterback position. But would you rather flop on a Malik Willis, or would you rather flop on a Kyle Hamilton? Because we've seen it a little bit, and again, I'm really high on Jeff Okudah this year because I'm rooting for the young man. I'm watching the videos. I am rooting for Jeff Okudah to be good this year. But you cannot convince me that he hasn't, at best, been a disappointment. Right? I mean, you take somebody at number 3, you want him to be a Pro Bowler at any position, regardless of that. But I would rather flop on Malik Willis than flop on insert defensive player here.
When are you going to get another chance to draft this high? I told you months ago. This is it. You're not going to draft at number 2 or 3 anymore.
Right.
You're not going to get a quarterback unless, you get lucky with Tom Brady. You got lucky.
You definitely got lucky with that. The only thing is there'll always be some quarterbacks that emerge. So there'll be some quarterbacks next year that emerge into that 3, 4, and 5 spot behind Bryce and CJ. The only interesting thing I wonder about by taking Malik this year is passing on the defensive line this year. Like, you got Kayvon Thibodeau that will be available to you at pick 2. You have Jordan Davis. You have Trayvon Walker. You have potentially Aiden Hutchins. I know they say the deal's closed, but we shall see. Those are some key players. Those are really good talents, guys that are going to make some Pro Bowls. Those are guys that are going to be different makers in the NFL, and you know that. You know they're going to be that. Do you want to risk passing up on those for a guy Malik Willis? And let's say it doesn't work out. What do you do next year? Do you try to put like this year with San Fran? They were trying to think, do we keep Jimmy Garoppolo and maybe trade Trey Lance? Will we have that option next year if it doesn't work out this year, year 1, where you say, hey, before people get exposed to what Malik Willis is, maybe can we get him out of here and still get some draft picks? That's the only caution to the win that I would say in going with Malik Willis, number 2. Man, Trayvon Walker, man, Kayvon Thibodeau, and man, a couple of those guys on that defensive line. That's tough.
Here's the kicker now. Do you take them at 2? Or do you hold them for ransom? Because I told you, Carolina at 6 and Atlanta at 8 are just as desperate as we are to get that quarterback. You could maybe Pittsburgh at 20. How desperate are they? So do you want to pillage another team? Or do you want to take Malik Willis and roll the dice?
Good question. And here's the answer that I would have. So you're asking basically, would you rather add 2, 3 picks
and a player
to your arsenal here in the NFL draft, or have the player in Malik Willis? Let me go real time, okay? Would you rather have Justin Herbert on your team or three good players?
Justin Herbert.
You'd rather have him,
of course.
If you have done your due diligence on the quarterback,
how about Tua?
Well, it didn't work out. Tua.
I'm just saying. Tua was rated a little bit above Justin Herbert.
He was.
So would you rather have Tua like the Dolphins do, or would you rather have 2 or 3 picks and maybe a player?
Well, that's
because you don't know what Malik Willis is going to be.
I understand that, but what if Braylon said it, Maz? Braylon said that quarterback position, you better have a special one, and you better have one on a rookie deal. Otherwise, you're in trouble. You're in legitimate trouble in this version of the NFL.
The kid sold me. I saw what he did at the Senior Bowl, and I saw the side of him that we all saw when he gave his stuff to the homeless guy on the corner. Right. I mean, it's great. Let's draft a nice guy and all.
Right.
But the kid's got talent too, and it's untapped talent. He played at Liberty.
It's untapped talent. That's part of the nervousness. Justin Herbert, for all he was, at least he still played at Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, you knew what he was going to do. Like,
and he's huge.
Exactly. So and that's the what if with Malik Willis is a lot. Like the what if 6'1.5", played at Liberty, still untapped.
Wish he was 6'3".
Still kind of raw, if you will. So I mean, that's the big what if. But it's this day and age, it's the day we live in. It makes you think about this, man. It's like, you got to have a quarterback, got to have one of these special guys, or got to have a guy that has the ability to potentially be special. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about potential. Potential is an MF, man.
The quarterback position is one in which I think it behooves you to have a guy that you win because of instead of winning with. And there's a big difference there. Jared Goff, to me, is a guy you win with.
Yeah.
Malik Willis potentially could be a guy that you win because of. More on this. Scott Bischoff going to join us in about 10 minutes from now. NFL draft expert right here on Woodward Sports Network, staff writer for the Football Guys. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz. It is springtime, and it's time to start looking good. That's right. You got to get out and get that skin color looking good like it's a summer day again. Get on out to Chili Peppers Tanning. That's where you're going to find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Don't forget, you join the Pepper Club. They got all the best deals. They'll beat all the competitors by $5. Don't forget, pick yourself up some Australian gold and some Swedish beauty lotions as well. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest deals, the hottest bulbs, and the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations and more on the way. One right down the street here on Woodward. Check them out at ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Another unique aspect to this, and we appreciate it if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. It helps YouTube push our content out, which we would greatly appreciate. Approaching 22,000 subscribers as well on YouTube, and this is where the game has changed on YouTube, and we're kind of gravitating towards that platform as the one where we want to be involved with.
Definitely.
Along with our social channels, but nonetheless, YouTube for sure. Guys, talking about the NFL draft, Mel Kiper came out with his mock draft 3.0 today. He's got Kyle Hamilton going at 2 to the Lions, and the Lions taking Matt Corral at 32, the quarterback from Ole Miss. I just don't understand, if you're going to take a quarterback in the first round, why you would take the 5th best guy.
But do we know that?
When you have an opportunity, I'm just saying hypothetically, why you would take that 5th best guy instead of taking the best guy.
What I meant by that is, how do we know he's the 5th best? Matt Corral could be the best of all of them.
Could be. This whole thing's a crapshoot, Bray.
It's a crapshoot, but I'm pretty sure that they've done enough homework. By the time all pro days are over with, they'll know enough to know who 1, 2, 3 are. And then 4 or 5, they really don't matter. The big thing about that, too, is why would you do that is because defense wasn't good last year. Defense made some games, they made some plays, they kept some teams under. Yes, I give you that. Minnesota, Chicago twice, and then Lamar Jackson, surprisingly. But with that said, that defense really wasn't good for the majority of the year. Defense is what you need to shore up. You got the offensive line, defense, and wide receiver, the positions that you got to shore up. So I think the people that are taking that quarterback, that Sam Howell or that Matt Corral in that spot, that 32 spot, is one, to get a quarterback in the first round so they can have your favorite deal, which is the 5th-year option. And then 2, that way you can focus on defense with that second pick when you have that guy like Trayvon Walker, when you have that guy like Nakobe Dean, who might move up after his pro day. Well, they already had their pro day, but that's why you want to go defense heavy, because they weren't that good in defense last year. Let's call a spade a spade. They were not good. So that's the interesting thing. That's the one setback, or that's the one hang-up I have. But going for the Malik Willis look over having that defensive player, it's not too often you get guys on that defensive line that you need. And they need guys on the defensive line. And you got 4 guys in this draft that you really can make a move for and pick and get out there. And they can instantly help your brand, which is that Detroit Lions brand of football that they're trying to bring with Dan Campbell. So that's the only hang-up.
That Trayvon Walker that you got me hooked on last week.
I'm telling you.
I can't get him out of my mind, but it's quarterback first.
Yeah.
It is. And we don't think we have our quarterback of the future yet.
I don't believe you do either. Now, could you win games, and can you be competitive with Jared Goff? I firmly believe that, but also you've got to consider the contract. The Jared Goff contract right now. I mean, you pay the quarterback. What's Jared Goff make? $18-20 million a year? I mean, you got to get a quarterback on a rookie. Maybe might make $26 million a year. Actually, 26 million, 28 million, something like that. The Lions are in a unique spot as well, picking it too, because I've mentioned this before. There is no player on this board where you're like, yeah, that's the second best player in the draft. This is totally needs-based, which is very rare when you pick that high that you kind of pick for need. You just take the best player available to you normally when you pick that high.
Here's another thing, too. And
that's not the case now. I feel like you pick for need here.
Here's something else. I believe the Jeff Okudah situation really has, left a bad taste in Detroit fans' mouths. If you think about Jeff Okudah, he went 2nd or went 3rd overall. Wasn't good his first year. Had the Achilles injury last year. Didn't play. So now you're hoping he comes back and does something, but you're not thinking he's going to be a top 3 pick talent-wise in this NFL because of what you've seen so far. They need DBs, and they have some DBs in the draft. Kyle Hamilton's a guy that can play easy in the back, one of our heavyweight guys. He's been on Kyle Hamilton this whole year. You know, you got Derek Stingley Jr. He didn't have the best year last year, but he's a hell of a talent, man. You watch what he did the year before last and 2 years before that. That guy can play, and he's going to be a great player. What do we talk about? LSU guys, never let you down. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'm waiting for an LSU guy to let me down. Sauce Gardner. He's another guy out of Cincinnati. Didn't allow a touchdown in 4 years. I don't care if he played at Albion. He didn't allow a touchdown in 4 years. You know how hard that is?
Yep.
That takes talent. And he played against Alabama, and he played against Georgia, and he played against some other teams in Auburn. So there's some really good secondary players in this draft. But that Jeff Okudah situation, you come back to that, it has Detroit fans, has them leery of taking that position.
If you told me that Kyle Hamilton was Sean Taylor, I'm all. Oh, sorry, I hit the table. They don't like it when we hit the table.
Did you notice who
You
the
slapped
guys?
it, though.
The two guys we're talking
hand.
about. The two guys we're talking about at 2. Those are the two guys that Vegas has locked in at number 2.
Let me tell you,
Isn't that something? But let me ask you this: if you were picking first, who are you picking?
Hutchinson.
You are.
I am.
You just told me you wanted a quarterback.
I understand, but I
okay. So you like Hutchinson over Malik Willis?
I think Hutchinson is a 12-year. I think he's a TJ Watt type player.
Okay.
I think he's a TJ Watt type player that is an absolute shoo-in without, barring injuries. I think he's a shoo-in 10 to 12-year player.
Reverse. Go J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt.
And I'm on your team. T.J. is more going after the quarterback. J.J. is a guy that plays the run, doesn't come off the field, plays the pass as well. So he plays more like that. Aiden doesn't have to come off the field. Aiden has a high motor. He can play well in the run game. He can move over if he has to, and he rushes the quarterback well. That's why I think he's more like a J.J. Watt. T.J., we know he's just getting to the quarterback. That's what he gets paid to do.
I think outside of the wide receivers, really 4 of them to me, and that's Braylon's department. He can really pick that out. I think Hutchinson and those 4 wide receivers, I'm talking Drake London, Olave, Wilson, and Jamison Williams coming off the Achilles.
Look at you over there.
Coming off the Achilles. I think those 5 players specifically, not an offensive lineman. I don't know much about the offensive lineman, but we don't need an offensive lineman. I think those 5 guys are guys that are going to be in this league for a long time and be very successful. Everybody else you're talking about is a crapshoot, and a crapshoot at 2 nonetheless.
Yeah, crapshoot at 2. You don't want a crapshoot at 2. I get that. It's tough. That's why I'm glad I'm not a GM. I'm glad I'm not a head coach for any team in the NFL, because it is a tough deal, man. Like, you're looking at a pick that can destroy or make up, what you want to be moving forward in the future.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Scott Bischoff about this. He's a staff writer, draft expert for the Football Guys. New show as well here on the Woodward Sports Network. Really happy about that. Russell Brown and Scott Bischoff going to take over.
The draft guys.
Lots of draft coverage for them. They're the experts. But we'll talk to Bischoff. We'll do it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Detroit, you've been waiting. You've been asking, and now he's back. Starting Monday, April 4th, Terry Foster joins the Morning Woodward Show every day, bringing you Detroit sports like only he can. The Morning Woodward Show with Terry Foster and Adam starts April 4th, live on the Woodward Sports Network.
What do you get when you mix fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken with our savory signature sauces? The best damn wings you've ever had. Wing Snob Traditional Wings. Try our Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. And we toss them to perfection. When your wings are this good, it's easy to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. How would you like to get a haircut and win $100,000?
Man, sign me up.
Pretty darn good, right? That's right. Yes, you heard me right. $100,000. Just get to a Lady Jane's today, get a precision haircut, and register for your chance to be 6 figures richer. Get to a Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Several locations throughout the Metro Detroit area. Several more around the country. Over 100 locations nationwide. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down. Watch your favorite team play. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee!
Ooh-wee, baby.
Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Win $100K. It's wicked awesome. Very excited to have these guys on board as well. Scott Bischoff, Russell Brown, the draft show. I believe they will be on this week here on Woodward Sports, and we have Scott Bischoff on with us right now. One of my favorite people around this time of year for sure, but just in general. Scott, good to see you, my friend.
Thanks, Scott.
Well done.
Doing great. Scott, first off, talk to us about the draft show that you got going on with Russell Brown. When can people see it and all that good stuff?
I think it's going to be Tuesday. First one's Tuesday, second one's Thursday is kind of where we are. And we're thinking about doing like a Film Room Friday kind of thing. Where
Love it.
Just doing it on you. Well, I don't know. We'll see. So Tuesday, Thursday is where we're going to go. But first, it must be nice for you guys with all this hair to have to actually need it to be cut. Because, some of us, Tom, I'm kind of looking at you here.
Hey. What can I tell you, man? That's why I'm the closest to the chair.
But look, you get a hot lather neck shave, too. You still need to get that neck cleaned up. Scott, let me start with something that we've been talking about. I think Malik Willis is an absolute guy that I don't think gets past 2. I don't think the Lions pass him up at 2. Am I nuts?
No, you are not. I don't know that in the NFL, especially in today's NFL, that you can win games without having a difference maker at the quarterback position, and he is clearly that. This might sound a little bit.
I hear a butt.
Yeah, this might sound a little hot takey, but in today's game, we're looking at a Michael Vick type player, and I just ask people to think about what Michael Vick would do in a modern day offense. Michael Vick ran 4.34 at 210 pounds many years ago. At 6 foot, Malik Willis is 6 foot. He's weighing in at 220 right now. But last year at 210 pounds, he ran 4.38 at Auburn. I think he's more difficult to get to the ground than Michael Vick was, where Vick was more instant acceleration type of thing. But Malik Willis might have more elusion. He may be the most difficult player, including the running backs, to break down in this class. And then you look at the speed. I know he's got arm strength and all that stuff. The intangibles with him are off the charts too. The character, everything you hear about him, from the Senior Bowl and the way the meetings with teams, it's all there. Ryan, I agree with you. I don't think that he should be off the board at 2. I think if anything, it's risky, but bringing on some risk. They all have warts. There's all things for them to work on. He has some things that others just are not going to bring.
I totally couldn't agree with you more if I tried. Scott, let me ask you about Tom Mazawey's scenario. What if Carolina or Atlanta at 6 and 8, hell, maybe even the Pittsburgh Steelers up at 20, they give you a ton of picks for that 2 pick because they're enthralled with Malik Willis. And I sit there and I say, do I want Michael Vick? Do I want Justin Herbert? Do I want the quarterback? Or do I want maybe 2-3 extra starters in the end? And I always go back to, I want the player. I want the quarterback. What do you do in that scenario?
I mean, it would be hard to pass up the kind of offer that it would take for you to move back that far. But in the end, it almost doesn't. I mean, look at the Cleveland Browns as an example of this. It doesn't matter how good you build your team. If your quarterback can't get you over the top, it almost doesn't matter. Yeah. The entire reason is to win the Super Bowl. It's not to say we want our division or we're in the NFC Championship game. You want to win the Super Bowl. Look at all the quarterbacks in the AFC. I just don't know how. No offense to Jared Goff or some of the other players around, I don't know how they're going to get you over the top when it really matters in big games. A guy like Malik Willis is a risk. He is. Yeah. Everything can't be a fastball. And Braylon, you could speak to this better than anybody. I mean, what's it like running a 5-yard slant and having the quarterback throw a ball 100 miles an hour at you? Like, hey, take a little off of that.
Look at his fingers.
Hey, Scott, how much time you got? How much time you got?
I got all day to listen. I just know that he needs to take a little off of some of his throws, and he needs to develop some touch. He needs to learn how to throw over a linebacker in front of a safety. But I trust that he's a working kind of player who's going to do those kind of things. But then you throw in the intangibles of what he can do outside the pocket and just the how he can challenge a defense vertically. I've been all about him for a little while, sort of kind of hiding it a little, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I do think that he you could see I don't know if you guys watched what he did today, but just the joy that he brings. Oh, yeah,
we watched it.
The exuberance. I mean, think about what that does in the locker room, in the huddle.
Can he see over people? Can he see over people? I mean, it's all well and good.
Drew Brees never had a problem.
I know, but Kyler Murray seems to be having a problem.
Kyler Murray's
now.
like 5'9". Like Malik Willis is listed 6.5.
That's what I'm nervous about.
Is that the only thing you're nervous about?
Yeah.
Okay, well then roll him out a little bit.
Use his strengths.
I'm not poo-pooing that. I mean, there's legit reasons for that, but I don't see a lot of his passes getting batted down. I mean,
That's because he plays for Liberty. I mean,
hey, Scott,
he's not in the SEC. He's not in the
Josh
Big
Allen
Ten.
played for Wyoming.
I know. Josh Allen's a monster.
I mean, Carson Wentz was nearly the MVP a couple of years ago.
I'm not poo-pooing it either, Scott. Go ahead. You're the expert.
I'll just wait. There was nobody on the planet who liked Josh Allen where he got taken in that draft class because he was so inaccurate that nobody thought he could possibly turn into what he's turned into. So we have to be creative in our minds to think about what they're going to be down the road, not exactly what they are now. And if they like his work ethic, if they think he can improve as a passer, there is no reason to pass on him at 2 to hopefully get a guy that, I mean, do any of us think that they're gonna get their guy next year in the draft that he's magically going to be available to them somewhere like at pick 10 or I mean, you know what I mean? Like
there is no guy next year in the draft outside those first two. Are you looking at Spencer? I said there's no guy outside of the original two, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Who are you looking at? Tyler Show? You looking at Spencer Rattler? They don't have a quarterback next year. If it's not Malik Willis, then it's going to be tough. Let me jump at you real quick, Scott. Two things. One, you better watch your mouth when you're talking about the most hard guy to tackle in the NCAA last year, because Alex Mayer is going to get you if you're not saying it's Kenneth Walker III. But so let's say that it's not Malik Willis, because if we're watching what Brad Holmes and what Dan Campbell are doing, they didn't go after any of the top defensive free agents so far this year, whether it was Darius Smith, who just signed with the Vikings, whether it was Von Miller, whether it was Tyrann Mathieu, whether it was insert defensive player here. There was always an excuse, or there was a reason they didn't go after. So that leads me to believe that they're going after defensive players in the draft. They want to draft these defensive guys. Who is that defensive player at 2 for them? Is it Kyle Hamilton? Is it Trayvon Walker? Could it be a Sauce Gardner or a Derek Stingley? Who do you think would be a good pick if it's not Malik Willis?
So I am still on board the Kayvon Thibodeau train. I do like him as a player. I'm not sold that Jacksonville's taking Aiden Hutchinson at 1. I'm just not. Until they figure out what they're going to do long term at left tackle or right tackle with what they have in that room, I'm not. I mean, I think it's. I'm not going to say unreasonable, but I do think there's some level of organizational dysfunction if they were to just dismiss that need. They've extended Cam Robinson for 1 year, and he has not signed that contract yet. He's their left tackle. Their right tackle is Juwan Taylor. He's in the 4th year of his rookie deal, the last year of his rookie deal. So both their tackles are on 1-year contracts. They're not tied to that team at all in the future. The only other player in the tackle room there is Walker Little, their 2nd-round pick from last year, and he hasn't played much. He played 1 game in 2019 towards ACL, sat out 2020, the COVID year, and he played a little bit last year. But that, with Trevor Lawrence and all of the skill position guys they've signed, it just doesn't seem like it's reasonable for them to just pass on the tackle position and leave it sort of, twisting in the wind for pick 33 or next year kind of thing. That just, I don't know. I'm not quite there with them being locked into Hutchinson right now. So, I still think Hutchinson's, in the mix. I think Thibodeau has maybe more upside as a pass rusher, but he has a little more bust potential if you don't get him worked out. I'm not into Trayvon Walker at 2 where others are. I think he is more workout warrior type player where there's there's some splash plays with him, but it's not consistent enough for me to think that at 2 that's what you want to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, it does.
You see him against Michigan make a big splash play, taking out a pulling guard, and then, you don't see anything for 10 minutes or so. It's just there's not enough. There's not enough with Walker.
Yeah, I'm actually with you in terms of what Jacksonville's probably doing with Aiden Hutchinson. It's similar to what Ryan Ermanni has been talking about. The Lions should be doing, as well as Matt has been doing with Malik Willis. Whether you wanted Malik Willis or not, got to be on that train. Got to put it out there. Got to say, hey, this is the guy we're getting. That way you get all the deals. Essentially, once Jacksonville did that, everybody now believes Jacksonville's taking Aiden Hutchinson. Now, if guys want Aiden, they know they got to come through Jacksonville. So I agree with you on that.
Hey, Scott, let me ask you about still with this quarterback, because it seems like every mock draft we see, and the mock drafts, say what you want about them, but they link a quarterback to the Lions with that 32 pick. Why would you, if you're the Lions, if that's your thought process, take essentially the 4th or 5th best quarterback when you can take the best one? If you're going to take a quarterback, why not take the best one instead of the 4th best one or the 5th best one?
Because of the 5th-year option, and it's cute. Yeah, it's cute to put a quarterback in at 32. That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. I just don't get it.
Well, what makes Malik Willis your top quarterback, Scott?
In the first round, you take him. You just take him.
Scott, what makes Malik Willis your top quarterback of all the bunch of them?
So, there's a lot of things. I think it's just traits. I think it's arm strength. It's the ability to create an offense around the things that he does well. But there's also the leadership and some of the character stuff with him is different than it is with other quarterbacks in this class. I will tell you, the Kenny Pickett stuff and the hand size is a real. For me, it's a thing. Like his hands are the same size as mine.
But they supposedly grew this weekend at the Pittsburgh camp. You didn't read that story?
Yes, but it's an eighth of an inch.
They went from 8 to 8.
They grew. He was doing his exercises like Jared Goff was back in the day when they said his hands were too small, which they are.
Yeah, and you see Jared Goff with a little bit of a fumbling problem, and you see Kenny Pickett with a fumbling problem. And there's a reason he wears 2 gloves. The NFL ball's bigger. It's a little bigger in diameter. It's a little longer. So, the issue is compounded. To me, it's if you're taking him, there's things you got to mitigate with him. And then there's. But
no, go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just think there's knocks on the other guys, and they have just as many issues and just as many things that you have to resolve as Malik Willis. It's just with Willis, you're getting a lot of upside in the locker room, high character guy, plus the athletic stuff and the ability to turn into something special, which I don't know that the other quarterbacks in this class can do.
Hey, you got to be careful what you take into measurements at the combine versus when they go to pro day, because at the combine they had me at 6'3 1/4. When I was at pro day, they almost had me at 6'4. They were looking out for a brother, so you got to be careful about home field advantage.
He's been measured multiple places though, and it's like 8.5, 8.5, 8 5/8. It's regardless. Yeah. Let's give him 8 5/8. It's still too small.
Yeah. Hey Scott, can we keep you for another segment?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, great. All right, we're going to take a 30-second pause. Be right back with Scott Bischoff, staff writer, draft expert for the Football Guys. The Draft Show coming to Woodward Sports. Scott Bischoff and Russell Brown. It'll be here this week, so we're looking forward to that. More with Scott Bischoff. How far does David Ajabo fall?
Oh, man,
what do the Lions do with that second pick? Who's the best wide receiver in this draft? Lots to get to. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Citron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Citron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings and exclusively served at LCA. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Citron is your top choice. Buy online at citronworld.com with promo code REDWING10 and get 10% off with shipping and handling included. Live it, drink it with Citron.
Talking to Scott Bischoff, staff writer, draft expert for the Football Guys. That draft show coming this week. He and Russell Brown, we're excited for that. Scott Bischoff joining us here on The Bottom Line. Ermanni and Edwards, thanks for tuning in. Big numbers on YouTube. Hit that like button for us. Thanks so much. We'd certainly appreciate that if you could do that. Scott, I want to talk about this Lions pick at 32 as well. I mean, it's hard to peg a guy for that spot because you don't know who's going to be left. But who are some of the names that the Lions could go? Where could they go there? And what position do you think they take?
So you take safety there. The safety class is relatively deep this year. They need a safety. You could take defensive tackle there if one of a group of players you like falls there. I'm thinking more like Devontae Wyatt, but I don't think he'll be available. Wide receiver, I think, is going to be kind of a common mock to the Lions at 32, just from a value standpoint.
What about Dax Hill? What about Dax Hill? What about Dax Hill? He's kind of hovering around that spot right there.
Yeah. There's a group. Dax Hill's in there. Signed from Nebraska, from Georgia's in
Georgia,
there.
yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, Jalen Petrie from Baylor is an under-the-radar kind of player right now, but I think he'll rise to that in that range. And Jaquan Brisker from Penn State, who might be my favorite sort of fit with what Tracy Walker is right in that range too. He may be gone, but that's a physical guy who will come up and punch you in the teeth kind of thing. Step into the alley and take on the run. Tracy Walker's more of a free safety type, so you need more of a versatile player who can bring some physicality to the mix. Brisker and Petrie are those guys. So safety, I think, I would say at 32 or 34 safeties in the mix. The receiver position this year, it's loaded. It really is. And it's almost, it's a little bit like, what kind of flavor of ice cream do you want? There are some guys who have dealt with injuries.
George Pickens.
Mechie from Alabama is one of those guys. Pickens is coming off an injury. I like Pickens. I think he's a really interesting player. I'm not sure if he's going to go as high as like 32, but I don't know what you guys think of Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks to me is a monster of a
You
player.
love him, Braylon, don't you?
I like him a lot. I just like the way he plays.
Yeah, like that's a guy that's a haul to bring down. And I know he tested what some people considered poorly, but he ran like 4.55 at 225 pounds. But I would challenge people to find it on film where he looks slow. There's a difference. It's just my opinion. There's a difference between a 40 time and what a guy actually plays like or plays at speed-wise. There's a play he makes on the sideline against Alabama where he catches a back shoulder throw, and then he runs away from their safety in their corner for 40, 50 yards and scores. It's not a slow player. And at 225 pounds, you're talking about an alpha guy. But I don't think there's any way he falls to 32. Just based on what he looks like on film. Christian Watson from North Dakota State is an intriguing player. He tested like just a monster at 6'4", and I want to say just under 210 pounds. He ran in the 4.3s. He jumped, crazy jumps. The issue with him is that North Dakota State runs the ball all the time. So you're getting blocking, which I know Brad Holmes likes. It's just there's a little bit of you got to project what he's going to be as a player. But he's had a really good process to this point. He looked really good at the Senior Bowl. He had no issues getting open. He had he looks the part for a big X receiver.
Hey, Scott, we all watched what happened this past weekend up at Michigan's Pro Day with David Ojabo. Really sorry to hear about that and his Achilles tendon being torn, 6 months injury. Is there a situation right there where he slides to Detroit at 32? If he slides that far, do you take him and prepare for 2023, or do you allow him to slide past you? And does he slide at all? I think it depends on what you do.
What's that?
And does he slide at all? He was listed as high as 7th.
I think he does slide. I think he will fall out of the first just because of the way he plays. It's all about his feet and his foot quickness. And he's super interesting the way he rushes the passer. He looks like, in ways, he looks like he's a receiver trying to get open against press, where it's confusing. I think he confuses tackles based just the way he moves. It's just different. I mean, it's really different. and unique, the things that he does to run past tackles. And a lot of that's predicated on his explosion out of his feet, and there are no guarantees that comes back. And we're talking about a guy who made around 20 college starts, a guy who's got the raw label already, a player who was really going to get drafted in the middle of the first round simply as a situational pass rusher to start, and now you're really redshirting him. I wouldn't expect him to play next year, so. I don't know. I'm not sure there are many teams that can afford just to pass on a player in round 1 this year. But I could see a team like Houston just picked up a second-round pick in their trade in the Deshaun Watson deal. Yeah. I think it's like pick 44 range. Indy has pick 42. I could see that being kind of where he goes, with the hopes that he recovers and gets some of that back.
Man,
it's just a brutal injury. It just is. It's really, it's disappointing.
Yeah, Scott, Maz, and Ryan. What do you guys think about? What do you make about nobody rushing up to him when he fell? Like, were people making too much about people not going up to help him right away, or were they right to say so or ask that question?
You know what? I don't even. The video looks bad, but at the same time, I'm not sure what the protocol is.
I think they were shocked.
Yeah, I think somebody goes down. Yes. I mean, we make everything look like it's the worst thing in the world that people suck. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Scott.
Well, Braylon, you've been at practice before people get hurt. What do? You just move the ball.
Move it up 10 yards. That was Lloyd. That was Lloyd. I've only seen Lloyd. I've only heard the story about Lloyd not moving it up 10 yards. Like every time someone got hurt, it didn't matter who it was. It's hey, move the drill up 10 yards, and then they let the training staff take care of him. You move up, you keep practice going. The only time that he did that is when Drew Henson got hurt. When Drew Henson got hurt, he shut practice down. He's all right, everybody go home. We got to figure this shit out. Yeah, go ahead,
Maz.
Hey, Scott, I got something for you. If they do if the Lions take Malik Willis at 2, let's just say they do, I could definitely see them moving up in the draft. They're not going to wait and see 30 players 29 players come off the board. I think Brad Holmes would make a move and move back in to the thick of it, at least get a guy like Jared Davis out of that first round.
I mean, I could see them. Coming up and really liking a player who slides a touch. There's no reason to think they can't. They'll have the ammunition to do it. With pick 32 and 34, and it just depends on how far they want to go.
And next year, they got 2 next year as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you're all in on your quarterback, it gives them the flexibility to do some things with picks. I mean, you guys brought up cornerback earlier. They're not out of the cornerback equation. As much as they need a safety, they might need a cornerback as well. Derek Stingley's a player who, to me, is a super intriguing player. I think he's going to slide a little bit. I think there's some off the field with him that people aren't really in love with. And as good as he looked early in his career at LSU, he just hasn't looked the same later in his career, and he's dealt with some injuries. So he could be a player that slides a touch. It's just, I don't know how much you got to give up to get up to, say, pick 20 range, if that's where you want to go for a player.
Yeah. Do you see anybody shock the world, move up and get Jacksonville's number 1 pick to take Malik Willis? Because they know the Lions are sitting on him.
It surprised me a bit. We have Carolina in that range. You have Atlanta now needing a quarterback. That's where Willis is from. You have Seattle with multiple picks now with pick 9. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. And I think people know you'd have to get up past Detroit to make that happen.
Isn't that something?
It wouldn't surprise me. And we saw it last year with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Similar thing.
They gave up 3 number 1s to get him to get up to that pick.
Yeah.
Maz, that's not a bad thought.
Yeah. Because Jacksonville really, they need the picks. They need a whole freaking team.
Well, they signed half the guys on free agency, so maybe they don't need a team.
It's true.
I'm just worried. If you want Malik Willis, I'm a little worried that he might be gone. Jacksonville might screw you. Again?
We sold him.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Scott, thanks so much for doing this. We'd love to chat with you again. And look for the draft show. Scott Bischoff, Russell Brown here on Woodward Sports Network. Thanks so much, Scott.
Thanks, guys.
Scott, appreciate it, buddy.
Say hi to Belegion.
Yeah, we love Shawnee B. Maz, I didn't even consider that.
Isn't that something?
That's something you may want to think of. That perhaps.
I'm telling you, when I say desperate, Carolina is desperate.
Matt Rule.
Atlanta is desperate.
You don't think Matt Rule wants to get his hands on a quarterback? This is it?
This is it for him.
But do you do that with a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, he would. He's got nobody.
Yeah.
He's got Sam Darnold and Cam Newton.
Crazy.
Hey, man, you lay off my boy Cam
Sorry.
Newton. I'm joking.
Interesting to hear his thoughts on Ojabo, too, and where he potentially could go. But, guys, it is so intriguing what the Lions could potentially do here at 4. So we tweeted out one of the clips from our show earlier today, and there was a gentleman that sent me a potential Lions draft with Willis at 2. I want to see what you guys think about this. You ready? Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. We may not know what the hell we're doing, but it's the most fun, intriguing draft the Lions have had in a very, very long time. Tell you about that.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Hey, gang, want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing. It says, stay out. That's right. Guardian Alarm, a good defense on and off the field for your home or your business. They have convenient features to let you control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call that number, top of my head, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Maz, that's something I did not consider, that the Jacksonville Jaguars could essentially take in a huge haul for that number 1 pick and draft Malik Willis.
Hell yeah.
That's
desperate.
Look at something with wisdom.
You have to consider. Teams. So one of the things that we're doing here at Woodward Sports now is on Twitter, you know, the guys in the back are taking short clips of our show and putting them out. So during
great job, guys.
Great job too.
Great job.
Justin,
great job,
Leach, Adam, everybody doing a great job back there. I probably shouldn't name names because I don't want to leave anybody out. But gentleman, in one of the replies to the tweets, Joseph Marino, at Joe Marino 98.
Hey, Joey.
He tweeted,
in your relation,
if our top 100 looks like this, I'm not mad. You ready? At number 2, Malik Willis. At number 32, Louis Sine, safety from Georgia. At number 34, Boye Mafe.
Yes, sir.
Defensive end from Minnesota. At number 66 in the third round, John Mechie III.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, there are players that you could get to really help your team this year. Mechie will be back. Moye is a guy. Is a guy that
Boye Mafe.
Yeah, Boye Mafe is a guy you really like. Sign is somebody you're crazy about.
I am.
You know, so I mean, you could get help this year. You don't have to. Who cares if you?
You don't have your pass rusher though.
Who cares if you? Mafe.
Okay.
Edge rusher
Boye Mafe is nice.
From Minnesota.
Little, not as fast as Ojabo, stronger.
And don't forget, what about the Aquara brothers? I mean, they are healthy this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're totally bare there. I mean, that's like getting 2 new guys.
It would just be nice to have that guy. It would be nice to have, you know who, from Dallas. That's all I'm saying.
Mike, I haven't heard you mention that name in a long time. Good job by you, man.
I just wish that he was here. That's all.
Well, you know what's crazy is he's now the only person that they have
left
in Dallas. Jesus Christ, they got rid of Randy Gregory. You get rid of DeMarcus Lawrence.
You know what? If they did have him, though, you know the Lions would probably take Ekwonu this year, right? So, I mean, Come on.
That's okay then. I wouldn't mind it.
Would you rather have Willis?
Yes.
And would you rather have Willis and Sewell or Parsons and Ekwonu?
Parsons and Ekwonu.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I think one thing that Scott Bischoff said, you know, kind of went unnoticed too. We didn't pick up on this, but he was totally right about it. I wanted to say something, but you know, because of the delay and everything, I didn't want to jump on him. But he's like, look at the Cleveland Browns. You can build up your team all you want, but if your quarterback sucks, if you don't have that quarterback, what are you doing? You're trying to win a playoff game? You're trying to win the division? Screw that. We're trying to win the freaking Super Bowl. You can't win the Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield.
Cleveland gave it all up to get their guy, and I take my hat off to them. But they knew they made a mistake. Baker ain't their guy, and they said Deshaun's there. I'm all in.
Braylon, don't you want to play for an organization where you know, right or wrong, whether the way they go about it is the right way or the wrong way, in your opinion, at least they're going for a Super Bowl championship. All this messing around with all these little nice guys and good guys and 4.0 students and guys that have no blemishes on their record.
It's never been football.
I mean, come on. You're trying to win a division? Are you trying to win a playoff game? Or are you trying to win the freaking Super Bowl? Because there is a difference between the Cleveland Browns a couple of years ago going to Pittsburgh and winning a playoff game where Ben Roethlisberger threw 4 interceptions, and that same Cleveland Browns team then going on the road and beating Kansas City, then going on the road and winning another game. You can't convince me that this position isn't the biggest position in sports, and you better have that guy. And if you don't have that guy, you're not going to win.
Are you trying to dress somebody up and take them to the Bears ball, or are you trying to go play some football? You're trying to get down in the trenches. That's what Cleveland did, and even with Baker Mayfield, they went for it. They said, hey, we think this is the guy, Heisman Trophy winner, #1 pick overall. We're going to take Baker. We took Myles Garrett. We picked up Jadeveon Clowney from over here. We picked up Nick Chubb. We picked up Kareem Hunt, even though he had a situation. Like, they've gone for it at every step of the way. Every step of the way. They got rid of Baker Mayfield, essentially, to bring in Deshaun Watson. So they've built their team up over the past 5 years. They've built it up, and they built it up to a spot where they can get rid of a quarterback in Baker Mayfield, who's a Pro Bowler 1 year, and essentially bring in a guy that can turn that program around and make them a Super Bowl contender. They immediately jumped into most people's top 5 chances to win the Super Bowl once they got Deshaun Watson. That's the one thing I worry about with the Detroit Lions and how they're building their team up. I understand low risk, low cost, making these moves, getting back some of the integrity of the identity that they had last year. This is our team. This is what we're doing. I get all that. But you got to add some players along the way, man, and that's what Cleveland did. Every year they added a couple big-time players that you know are going to be there to make decisions and make plays. Now, I know Cleveland has had 5-6 years on the Browns. I know the Browns have had 6 years on the Lions because the Lions just started last year with Holmes and Campbell. But I hope they do something like Cleveland did, because you can name 2 to 3 players that Cleveland picked up every year that helped them get to where they are, where now they just add one person. And that one person is Deshaun Watson, essentially, and Amari Cooper. But they've been doing it for 6 years now, and I hope that the Lions pay attention to that to some extent. Not all of it, but some extent.
Okay, you ready? You want Malik Willis?
I want Malik Willis.
Or do you want to trade the pick, to Atlanta or Carolina? Let's just stick with Carolina.
What are you giving me, Maz?
I'm getting next year's #1.
Okay.
Where do you think Carolina is going to finish next year?
If you give me next year's #1, I'd have 3 #1 picks.
And Carolina's going to suck. You might get your guy next year. Atlanta's going to suck.
They're definitely going to suck.
You might get your guy next year. I'd rather get my guys now, my defense, and get the quarterback next year. If I'm dealing with Carolina or Atlanta, those 2 only, not Pittsburgh. Carolina or Atlanta, they're going to suck. You think they're going to beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers?
Who do you like better, CJ or Bryce?
I like CJ.
Okay,
I think CJ's a stud.
I can't pick. I think they're both great.
I think CJ's the man.
So
although he's an Ohio State quarterback,
I don't care about that.
But they don't show.
Oh yeah, in terms
they
of
don't show.
I agree with you on that. Justin Fields didn't get the best opportunity, but to your point, naturally they haven't shown. Only reason I ask that is because Bryce is under 6'2". I just want to let you know.
What's CJ?
He's a short guy too. CJ 6'4", I think.
What's Deshaun Watson?
6'4", 6'5".
God, that's who I want.
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5". But
I wanted him.
That's the brilliance of this time of year. That's the brilliance of mock draft. That's the brilliance of being 4, 5, 6 weeks out from the draft, is you can come up with all these type of scenarios, and we can even get it down and condense it to where a week before the draft, we're all on the same page. We have what we want to do. Sam's included. Alex is included. We're like, oh, man, this looks amazing. I like what we're doing here. We're going to trade this pick to Carolina and get all that. And then Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell do something different on draft day. It doesn't matter. That's why this time of the year is fun, but it is nerve-wracking in this position.
Get me Carolina or Atlanta's #1 next year. Get it to me.
If you could do that, I think that's
you're gonna do it.
Obviously,
you're at least getting
okay.
it.
So who are you taking at 6? Whoever's just the best player, whoever the best player is available to you.
Exactly. Whoever.
Maybe that's Kayvon Thibodeau. You still get
Fine.
your guy. What have
I got news for you. Maybe the Giants will trade with you. How about that? They're at 5.
Well, they suck every year.
They're at 5. Maybe they want to go up and get Malik Willis. There's another one. Take the freaking Giants #1s next year.
They got Daniel and Tyrod. You think they still take a quarterback?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. What have they done right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's some bad teams behind you, and you're not going to be a bad team anymore. You're not.
Hope not. Yeah.
Guys, speaking of bad teams, I want to stick with the NFL. Speaking of bad teams, have you seen this story that came out about Urban Meyer? The story comes out about Urban Meyer that he didn't know who Aaron Donald was. Being kicked in the teeth, Urban Meyer. Man, people love to kick you when you're down, don't they? Is
he down though?
He's probably not, but he's probably not down. He might be down somewhere, but he ain't down. You know, proverbially, what's the saying? You know what I'm talking about.
He's got 3 national titles. He ain't worried about nothing.
They say that Urban Meyer doesn't know who Deebo Samuel was or Aaron Donald was. I'm going to respond to this. I've got some inside information on this.
Inside info.
On this, we're going to share that with you next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down.
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires. Hits.
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy and the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it.
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over. Anything can happen in March.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Gypsy Vodka is the stuff of dreams, man. Michigan's gluten-free vodka by Adam and Mike. It is smooth as silk. We got a bottle right here. You can't see it, but man, on the weekends we do partake in it. It's just smooth, man. That's because it's corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. Also, it's gluten-free. How can you beat that? Go down to your local liquor store and ask for Gypsy Vodka by name. Tell them we sent you. I don't know what that do, but hey, just tell them we sent you. Hey, guess what? If you're going to drink responsibly at all times.
Bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. How's everybody doing out there? Thanks for your participation in the YouTube chat. Hit that like button for us. Having a lot of fun. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We've got Sam Reynolds, Alex Mayer. How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. This is a great show. So much NFL content. Oh, those are the best.
Sam, where are you on the Malik Willis to #2 train?
That's a tough one. I'm getting convinced, though, because we don't want to draft a quarterback at 32 like, I don't know, Matt Corral or Sam Howell. If Brad Holmes decides that this is the guy for the future, he should go ahead and take him. I like what I'm seeing.
Alex, yes, no, maybe so. You good with Malik Willis at number 2?
You guys came up with a good point about how, like, who's to say where we're going to be picking next year to be in position to pick Stroud and what's his name?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Preferably, I want Aiden Hutchinson, but we can't have nice things, so Malik Willis is a good alternative.
How about Tom Izzo at 32?
Yeah, Tom Izzo at 32 would be very good.
It just makes no sense, like you said, to draft a quarterback at 32, just so that for the purposes of him being a backup quarterback and then going somewhere in 3 years.
Unless you like him.
Yeah, guys.
If you think he's a starter.
Look, and I mentioned to you guys earlier, I spoke with someone yesterday that, said either the Lions are most likely going to take Malik Willis at 2, or it's the biggest smokescreen they've ever seen in their lives, which also, too, would be a great thing. That means that Brad Holmes knows a little bit about what he's doing. You're driving up that price, or you're going to take the player. I like the player a lot.
I got an outside chance here for you. Something just hit me.
Uh-oh.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
The Philadelphia Eagles. What if they love Malik Willis?
16, 17, 18.
They got 3 picks in the first round.
They have a Malik Williams right now.
Malik Willis?
Essentially.
Well, maybe they don't like him. Maybe they don't like him. Maybe they could send a couple of picks over plus Jalen Hurts. I'm just throwing crap out there.
I know, clearly.
I see. I see how it is.
No, I'm just saying I don't think they do that.
Okay.
I don't think they legitimately do that. Braylon, I wanted to address this. So throw up the situation. So this is from The Athletic regarding Urban Meyer. So multiple sources told The Athletic that former Jaguars coach Urban Meyer was unfamiliar with star players around the NFL, including Deebo Samuel, Jamal Williams, Aaron Donald. Quote, "Who's this 99 guy in the Rams? I'm hearing he might be a problem for us." End quote. This is just a trash column. That's all this is.
Who are these multiple sources?
This is a trash report. And I try not to say that so much, but this is a clickbait column.
Yeah.
This is from a Michigan guy, okay?
It works.
This is from a Michigan guy.
Got us talking about
I guarantee you, on my children's lives, that Urban Meyer knows who Aaron Donald is.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
He knows if they're playing the San Francisco 49ers, he knows who Deebo Samuel is. Okay, I talked to a guy this morning, did not want to go on the record. Braylon, you were in the conversation.
I was.
He said, quote, "The guy is the most prepared human being I've ever been around in my life."
Yeah.
This is from a former coach that coached with Urban Meyer who did not want to go on the record. But that was the quote he gave to me. "The guy is the most prepared human being I've ever been around in my life." This is a trash report. And I don't know why people write stuff like this, if it matters, you're just trying to pile on a bad situation. But and I know that Urban Meyer knows who Aaron Donald is.
You don't win 3 national championships without being a detailed coach or without having people around you that are detailed. And yes, there's fun. Coaches mess around all the time. They crack jokes. Lloyd used to do it to us all the time. Lloyd would come up when we played, when we were starting the week, about to play somebody. I'll give you an example. We were about to play Charles Rogers. Lloyd would come to me and Lloyd would say, hey, that number 1 from Michigan State, I'd get rid of you and every wide receiver we had. I loved him. I tried to get him to come here.
I love that.
But he didn't want to come. He would say stuff like that no matter what. And you would mess with Lloyd and I just bring him up. He was my guy. He's my college coach. He knew everybody. Rex knew everybody. Pete Carroll, probably is the most detailed coach I've ever had. In terms of when I was out in Seattle, knew everybody. Coaches know. Whether they are national championship, Super Bowl winning coaches, losing in the division, doesn't matter. These coaches know the players. They know who they're going against, especially the studs. They know the guys that are third string. They know the kickers that are third strings. There aren't even 3 kickers on the team, so I tricked you with that one. But these guys know. So for them to say that, guys can joke around sometimes, and I think somebody told them a joke, or what he said is to be a joke, and they took it as serious.
Maz, how many times could you imagine Urban Meyer walking up to a guy and be like, hey, at 99, he's pretty good. He might be a headache for us.
Yeah, sarcasm. That's what it is.
There you go.
It's sarcasm. And I read The Athletic. I pay for it. I'm disappointed in the article. I mean, usually it's good stuff. There might be some things in here that are true. I mean, he was a high-intensity guy. And it says, he was never happy. He could never take a loss. Well, even 3-4 days after, he'd still call players out. He would say, I'm going to fire that coach. He was bad to his coaches. He was. Those things I believe. I don't believe he didn't know the players, and I don't believe Lambeau. Because, he kicked them. But, I think it was like a love tap kick.
So the guy that I talked to today also addressed the Lambeau situation. He said he's seen it 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
You walk up to guys during the stretch, you give them a little love tap, and you say, hey, you going to make a bleeping kick today?
Yeah.
You're going to catch a bleeping pass today?
He's sarcastic.
You're going to throw a bleeping touchdown in this one?
It's called busting balls.
Are we that?
Yeah, we are. I guess we are.
Sensitive?
Yes. Soft.
Yeah.
Soft. Unless you're just really trying to pile on the guy. Because I think what Bruce Arians did, slapping or punching the player, however you want to characterize it, that's much different from Urban Meyer walking up in a stretch. Yeah. Hey, you going to make a bleeping kick today?
Yeah, especially since you missed the one last week.
Come on. And I'm no fan of Urban Meyer, but, we got to call a spade here.
Hey, there you go. I see you using my
hanging
words.
out with you too much.
Hey, man, it is what it is. Hey, gang.
Hey, gang.
No, but, there are elements of this article that I know to be, let me take a step back. There are elements in this article that I believe to be true, and one of the ones I don't like that I believe to be true is what he said in the team meeting room. They talked about, hey, you guys could be bagging groceries if you want here. If I cut you, you're making $15 an hour. Now, that's something I believe Urban Meyer would say. That's an Urban Meyer-esque type line or type statement.
Down to him.
Yes.
And that I believe that to be him. So that's something that I could believe he would say. I don't like that. That's some BS. You don't tell players like that, especially it's not really true, but we don't have to get into that. Now, that other stuff, no, he knows who Aaron Donald is. Kicking a guy on the leg like a little tap, like you're going to make a bleeping kick. You're going to catch a bleeping pass. Trust me. I've definitely heard that second one a time or two. So I know that to be true. So I think you just got to pick and choose the elements. And I don't like clickbait. That's the problem there, what you said. I don't like the clickbait part of the article.
So here's the problem with what we're talking about now. And I do agree with you. I could totally see Urban Meyer talking down to players.
Even coaches,
or coaches in the room like that. But that's not why we clicked the article.
Nope.
We clicked the article because it says that he didn't know who 99 was.
100%.
And that's just flat out untrue. It's just flat out untrue. And it's why people don't trust the media. It's why people don't trust, because you say that. Look, I've said some dumb stuff in my day. Like when you talk, I'm on the air for 4 or 5 hours sometimes. Yeah. Today I was on the air for I'll be on the air for 6 hours.
6 total, right?
6 total hours today, me yapping. You're bound to say something stupid. You're just bound to. Thankfully, today, I don't think I did. I guess somebody could say, well, it's stupid that you think that Malik Willis is going to be taken number 2 by the Lions.
An opinion.
But that's
don't jinx
an
it. You got 38 minutes.
Right. That's an opinion. That's not something dumb.
That's all we do here.
You may disagree with my opinion, but whatever. It's not like stick foot in the mouth.
You talk to someone that knows the Urban Meyer situation. You have the first-hand knowledge, second-hand knowledge, that this guy is not a dummy, like this article paints him as. Might paint him as a jackass, but he's not a dummy.
The most prepared human being I've ever been around in my life.
I only encountered Urban Meyer one time in my life. This is when I was working for Big Ten Network, and they always have the Big Ten luncheon to start the season. That's when the Big Ten brings their coach in there, 2 captains or 3 captains. They bring them to the conference. You talk about the rules, you talk about the season, you kick the season off, and there it is. So I was working for Big Ten Network. It's my first year working for them, and we were about to interview Urban Meyer. Never met Urban Meyer. He wasn't at Ohio State when I was at Michigan. He was at Florida. He was at Utah when I was at Michigan. Then he was at Florida. So I walk up to him and say, hey, Urban, Braylon Edwards. He said he broke down my stats from college. He broke down who I was, NFL. He talked about I was in Cleveland. Obviously, he was at Bowling Green. Like, he knew all of that about me. I never played against him. He never needed to make a game plan to know who I was. He never needed to even know who I was. But he knew everything about me. You can't tell me that a man like that didn't know who the hell Aaron Donald was, and he's been the best player in football for the last 5 years. Stop it.
Incredible stuff. So just wanted to get that out there. Guys, did the Lions actually consider drafting Justin Herbert? Maz, you're high on this. Braylon, and this goes back to...
I don't care.
Do you really want to pass on a Justin Herbert type player? Do you want to pass up that guy?
You want to pass up on a quarterback.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, gang, it's March Madness. That's right. It's Maz from MyBookie.ag and the promo code Woodward. That's your special promo code because it doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, especially now during March Madness. How about getting that free money and doing whatever the heck you want with it? Thursday, it all gets underway. The Sweet 16, Michigan, and, of course, they're going to be playing the Villanova Wildcats. 5 points is the spread. Who you like in that one? Michigan on a roll. How about those St. Peter's Peacocks? Can they pull the upset against Purdue? Purdue a 12.5-point favorite. That's coming up on Friday. Lots of games to talk about. How about the Michigan women's basketball last night? They make it to the Sweet 16. You could have bet them on MyBookie.ag. The promo code is Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
And also, gang, want to tell you about Wing Snob. That's right, fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wing Snob has the best traditional wings. Try our signature sauces, Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. That lemon pepper, by the way.
Oh, my God. That's fire.
Wings are tossed to perfection in any sauce you want. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Find a location near you. Wingsnob.com. Wingsnob.com. We just have better wings. Right?
Hey, I want to bring up something. We talked about, Maz just mentioned the game last night with Villanova and Michigan's women. Man, shout out to Michigan's women, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Michigan. Last night, Naz Hillman, who's All-American 2 years in a row, she got her 50th double last night. She's All-American. They were 14-0 at home this season. And, they were playing against a girl in Maddie Siegrist, who was a Big East Player of the Year. Big East Player of the Year, she's averaging 25.8. She's right up under my girl, Caitlin Clark. They asked Naz Hillman to not only go out there and score, they asked her to guard her as well. Well, guess what? Siegrist was 4 of 13. She only had 12 points, and Naz had 27 and 11. This Michigan women's team, they not boiled.
That's what's up.
They not boiled.
That is what is up. Maz, you found this earlier today. Did the Lions actually consider drafting Justin Herbert? It's intriguing, but I don't feel like, anyway, that it was ever Herbert in the conversation. It was all about Tua.
It was Tua, but they did look at least Michael David Smith said that, a Pro Football Focus, Pro Football Talk, that they did give him a look. But turns out they didn't go for it. There was a quarterback at that time, and should have been a quarterback. We all know there should have been a quarterback in that draft, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, instead
I
they
think
took
it was worth a mention.
Jeff Okudah.
Yes, sir.
That's who they ended up taking. And look, for all the negative talk about Tua Tagovailoa,
he still wins.
Dude won 7 of 8 games this year. I mean, he's a winning player.
Yeah, no, he's a winning player, man. He found a way to get it done once he got in there this season. Found a way to get it done. Despite all the BS that was going on, we now know that there was a lot of undertones going on in Miami. He still found a way to win. Just looking back at that Herbert deal, it's amazing that they didn't pick up Herbert. It's amazing some of these quarterbacks that they didn't go after, and I don't want to get into it, but I'm just looking at the Herbert situation for Okudah. Like, Herbert was a winner. Herbert was listed as the #1 quarterback in the nation 2 years in a row at some point of the season in those 2 years. He's also a winner. He won a Rose Bowl at Oregon, played with Cristobal. He was coached by a really good coach. Like, I don't understand how you pass on a guy 6'5", can play like that, as a stud, and a proven winner at a high level. I can understand to to some degree, in this draft is why we're like trying to knock down all the quarterbacks. Like, oh, well, Malik Willis, he played at Liberty, or Kenny Pickett, he has small hands, he played at Pitt, and Sam Howell in North Carolina, he didn't win this year. I can understand all of those to some extent. I can't understand how you have a guy that was the number one guy at some point, is 6'5", is a stud, and won the Rose Bowl, and by the way, he beat a Wisconsin team that was number 8. See, stuff like that bothers me. That's why Quinn Trisha, I'm glad they the hell up out of here.
Well, guess about this, man. Quinn Trisha might still be here had they picked him. Mm-hmm. They were picking for their jobs. They thought taking Okudah was going to save their ass. Little did they know the guy was Justin Herbert. Because if he does get the start here in Detroit, who the hell knows? He might have flamed out here. We don't know. But it don't look like it. I mean, they still might be here.
One thing about good players, man, is I've kind of like paid attention to now since I don't play football, is you can see a good player whether he's on a bad team or not. Like if Justin Herbert was what he was, 230s in a row, he's mad. I mean, he's Sam's guy. 230 seasons in a row, touchdowns at it. You can see a guy be a good guy and play on a bad team, whether it's offense, defense, offensive line, defensive line. If you got that stuff, that juice, that mojo, that magic, you'll be able to see it.
Had they taken him, they might have maybe they didn't save their job, but you know what? We would have looked at him a lot better. It made it easier for
Brad Holmes.
We would have looked at him a lot better, saying, "Hey, at least they took the best player at that position instead of a reach."
You could basically just add it to the list. And I'm not sure if it's super fair or not because I do believe the Lions, and I'll speak for Lions fans. I can't speak for Quinn Trisha. But I think many Lions fans, including myself, figured Tua was the player there, not Herbert.
Yeah.
I think Herbert, Herbert was even the second quarterback taken. Our third quarterback taken. Yeah. Third quarterback taken. He was not the first quarterback taken. He was the third quarterback taken. So it's not like, that was some.
So maybe the third quarterback taken this year will work.
Well, you never know.
We're poo-pooing Matt Corral and Matt Corral and the rest of the guys. Maybe there's a gem in there.
This just doesn't feel like this is that draft, or this is last year's draft where the fifth quarterback last year was Mac Jones. This does not feel like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ryan, I agree with that because I've seen bad games. You've seen really good quarterbacks have bad games. Even Mac Jones had some bad games at Alabama. Guys have bad games. Herbert had a couple bad games at Oregon, and since we're being honest. But that is different than the way in which you watch these guys that are in this draft, the Kenny Pickett's, the Malik Willis. Like we talked about watching that Malik Willis and Matt Corral game. That wasn't a bad game. That was an abomination on both sides. They both look horrible. Neither one looked like a guy that you wanted to draft first overall. It didn't look like
about that game.
Exactly. It didn't look like a bad game. It looked like neither one of these guys can get it done as a starter at the next level. Now it got a little bit better towards the end of the year, but that's very different than what it looked like when Mac Jones or Herbert or insert Kermit the Frog, aka Patrick Mahomes, have a bad game at Texas Tech.
Look, I don't believe this is one of those situations that you could add to the list where you had a Terry Fair, Randy Moss, or
Gerard Davis,
or
Dalvin
who's the
Cook.
tight end that we took over Aaron Donald?
Ebron over Donald.
You took I don't think you can say Okudah over Herbert because that just wasn't a likelihood. I mean, the Lions weren't going to take Justin Herbert. If they were going to take anybody, it would have been Tua, and
maybe because I said this guy wrote. They gave a hard look at him. They gave a hard look at him.
Yeah, I don't know. If you could have promised me they would have taken that was the conversation there, Okudah or Herbert, I hear you on that. But I think for many Lions fans, when they took Terry Fair over Randy Moss, this town went nuts. When they took Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald, this town went nuts. When they took Jeff Okudah over
anyone,
Tua Tagovailoa, this town went a little nuts. Everybody thought it was Tua.
I'd still rather have had Tua.
Very fair.
I see what you did with those words. You just talking about Terry Fair, very fair. Look at you.
Hey, Juju Smith-Schuster is on the move. He is signing a 1-year, $10.75 million deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Lions started that $10 million spree with DJ Shark.
Yeah. How about you're shaking your head, Braylon?
You mean to tell me I got to watch Juju Smith-Schuster dancing with Patrick Mahomes' brother for 17 games this year. Oh my God!
No, Patrick Mahomes' brother's not allowed at the games anymore. Did you hear him?
I thought that was false. That was false stuff. I think that girl, that tweet about him and the girlfriend not being allowed, I thought that was fake news. Going back, I hope it's not, because I hate it. It's cringy. It's cringeworthy. Going back to Juju Smith-Schuster, I'm very interested to see what happens this year, because I think he was really good in his rookie year. Antonio Brown was there. Then Antonio Brown leaves, and they get into a little battle, a little Twitter war, and he turned up his second year, 1,400 yards. I think he had three catches that were over 90 yards. Like, he really balled. And then he just started focusing and worrying about, like, the on-field and off-field stuff was bad. Start, like, dancing on the field, start doing things before the games that, had nothing to do with playing football. Like, he was doing little cheap shots. The way in which he was playing the game isn't the way you're supposed to play the game. Then off the field, we saw last year before training camp talking. We always talk about this. I hate this. When that crate challenge thing was popular, everybody was doing the crate challenges, trying to walk up and then walk down. He did it literally the day before training camp started. So my biggest thing with him is you're an issue on and off the field in the last 3 years. Like, you can't do that in Kansas City. This is a team that's won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. This is a team that has one of the best quarterbacks in the league. This is a team that's ready. This is a team that's calling on you. I thought they were going to get Jarvis Landry, but they got Juju Schuster. This is a team that needs a number 2 wide receiver. Like, they won the Super Bowl because they had Sammy Watkins to go along with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They're putting you in a great spot. This is a chance. You talk about comebacks. You talk about last-ditch efforts, like, earning what you're worth. You talk about those type of contracts.
Prove-it deals.
Prove-it deals. This is it for Juju Schuster. He has a chance, like a hell of a chance. I mean, you couldn't pray for a better chance than this. I just don't know if he's ready. I hope he is. I just don't know if he is.
Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill,
Sprinkle,
Travis Kelce, and you
Springer.
You lost Mecole Hardman. You lost Sammy Watkins. So Hardman's there, but I'm saying you lost Sammy Watkins. So Hardman had to come up. Now Hardman can go back to
play in his number 3 role.
Number 3 or number 4 role.
Pringle still there?
I mean,
it could be really special. Not to mention
they're going to score 50 points a game.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, now he's back. He's healthy. Like, you have McKissick signed back.
Come on. I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys the Chiefs. I'll take the other 3 in the AFC West.
I don't think you can do that.
Well, no, we weren't saying that. They still got to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are still the team to beat in that division. But I'm just saying, from a Juju Smith-Schuster point of view, you're in a great position. You're in a very, very beautiful position, man. Don't mess this up.
Guys, I want you to answer this question after the break. I take the Chiefs, the Bucks, and the Bills, and I give you the field. You taking it? Next year, Ermanni and Edwards.
Oh, I like this. Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. I like this one. Get my teams together.
Get your teams together.
What were you? You said the Chiefs?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I hate that you took the Bills.
The Bucks and the Bills.
You can have the Chiefs and
you
the Bucks.
got the field. Who do you think's got the better deal? We'll see right in 30 seconds.
I got you.
We do.
Detroit, you've been waiting. You've been asking, and now he's back. Starting Monday, April 4th, Terry Foster joins the Morning Woodward Show every day, bringing you Detroit sports like only he can. The Morning Woodward Show with Terry Foster and Adam starts April 4th, live on the Woodward Sports Network.
Question.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for over a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. The sports marketing agency podcast, This is the F Word, and F Word meaning fentanyl, has just started 3 weeks ago, and it is going brilliant. We are really we're unveiling some things, some ideas. We're talking about mental health. We're literally destigmatizing as well as making it normal, so people feel free to come forward if you have issues, or if you know someone that has issues, you come forward for them. If you have some of those issues, or if you know someone is struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com for all your answers, and everybody is discreet.
Hey, gang, want to tell you about Woodward Sports sending you to New Orleans to see college basketball's finals. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show, afternoons to Big D Energy and Drive Time. With the bottom line, want more chances to qualify? Make sure you're following Woodward Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and head over to woodwardsports.com.
Oh, I'm still thinking about those 3 teams. I'm trying to play the field. Hey, check this out. We're trying to pay for you guys to legitimately go to the game, the final game, airfare, tickets to the game, hotel accommodations. Everything will be taken care of. Win a trip. Win a trip. You know how you win a trip? You tune into this show or Big D Energy or The Morning Woodward. Tune into those shows. We'll ask you questions, and you can qualify. Matter of fact, questions like
right now. Dynamite drop in. Dynamite save, by the way.
Drop in, buddy. All right, guys.
Maz, you got the question today?
B-liners, tell me who the nickname of St. Peter's.
Ooh.
Give me the nickname of St. Peter's.
Ooh.
My alma mater.
Be the first person in the YouTube chat to give us the nickname of the St. Peter's blank basketball team. Do that. Maybe a little music here, Sam, for us while we wait.
Got a hint. It's an app.
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Then we'll get you over to Sam, and then we'll continue on with our show.
Give you a hint. It is a streaming app.
Oh. I don't know what it is, actually.
We got a winner.
Oh, there it is. Max Mayer.
Max Mayer.
Any
Unless you
relation
won
to
already.
Alex? Is it? No? Alex Mayer. Or no. Max Mayer.
Max May.
Max Mayer.
I'm like, you out here with the ghost account?
It's the Peacocks.
Go ahead and email
The
I
Peacocks.
love March Madness. I love March Madness 2022 at gmail.com. I love March Madness 2022 at gmail.com. And just send Sam your name. He'll get back to you with some more info.
Side note, because of your reads, which are amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
You got me repeating everything 2 and 3 times, man. I'm
Hey,
repeating everything.
gang. That's right.
Last night I made steak and potatoes. Steak and
those
potato.
Those look good,
Hey,
by
man.
the way.
Oh, you saw that?
You
Oh,
gotta,
hell. How did I not see it?
Oh, I
gotta
got.
hammer-
Did you see the final? Did you see the final?
No, I just saw.
You got to
I saw
hammer at
it.
home, baby.
You do.
Hammer
I
at
can.
home.
What kind of steaks were those?
What were they? I don't know. But I got them at Costco.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Costco's
them.
Those are either New York or
Costco-
That might be
Costco-
Porterhouse.
Costco sells everything.
They got the
Like
best meat,
it
man.
took me a long time to go to Costco. I went in and got a membership finally a couple years ago, and I just looked at the varying items that they have. I saw a car for sale.
Oh, dude.
I saw food, clothes. Like you can buy a ring and propose in there. Like
Absolutely.
you can buy a lung, a kidney, a heart. Like
The only thing
Everything.
is the prices are going sky high.
Yeah, it's too
it's
bad.
true.
It's
I
really,
don't like the lines. That's why I never like went.
Yeah, I don't
really,
blame you there.
really a shame about those prices. Okay, guys, I'm taking the Bills, the Bucks, and the Chiefs.
I'll take the field.
And I'm giving you the field. Braylon's got the field. Why? Who is the biggest threat in your field to my Super Bowl championship this year?
You just asked 2 different questions. The first question is why would I take the field? The second one, who's the biggest threat? Am I answering both?
Yeah.
All right. First question.
Your
I'm at-
show, buddy. I'm just living in it.
Nah, man, this is our show. It's all 5 of us. The reason why is the Bucks. You don't know what the Bucks are going to be, man. They have a lot of question marks coming back. They got rid of Alex Kappa. Got rid of Alex Kappa. He now plays for the Bengals. That was their right guard.
Got Fournette back.
You got Fournette back on the deal. Wide receivers, you don't know what Godwin's going to do after injury. He should be good, but you don't know. They got Gage. You don't know what Gage is going to be with Tom Brady in terms of their being in sync. You don't know what Rob Gronkowski is.
What about Edelman? They going to get Edelman?
It's Edelman. You know, it's so many trying to figure out. So we stole one of their players too. So you got them. It's question mark. Bills, that's probably number 1 pick to win it all. And then the Chiefs. I like the Chargers, the Ravens, the Rams, the Pack, and the Broncos. Those are the ones that I highlighted. And out of those, probably Chargers and Ravens.
The field is awesome.
Yeah.
But the Bills are awesomer.
Yeah. Even the Raiders.
They got your guy. They got Von Miller.
Well, I know that, but we're going against him, so you know we have to.
I'm right.
Are you gonna stick? Are you sticking?
I'm taking the.
I bought you lunch. You're supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side.
You're supposed to be on my side.
You got a great chance.
Yeah,
a great chance.
Just not the best one.
I think this is the Bills' year.
I'm taking 3. I'm taking 3 of the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL.
You can have the Chiefs and the Bucks. You can have them.
Yeah.
I'll take the Bills.
Bucks basically have to win 1 game.
Why?
Over the Rams.
Because
the NFC is not very good.
That's fine. They still got to pass the Bills then.
Yeah.
Ain't going to happen.
I think the Ravens are going to be the dark horse this year. I think
that's the worst to first team.
I love the Ravens with you. I do.
And they weren't even they're a cheating worst to first because of all the injuries that they had last year, but they still are a worst to first situation. I just think with all the injuries that they had last year, you talk about Marlon Humphrey, you talk about Marcus Peters, you talk about
J.K. Dobbins.
You talk about J.K. Dobbins, you talk about Moreland Greenwood, you talk about Lamar Jackson even was injured. Then you talk about the left tackle, Ronald Stanley's coming back, the highest paid left tackle in the game. He comes back, 4-time Pro Bowler. And you added people, you added a couple players too. I just think that they're very quiet. Like they haven't said anything. You haven't heard Lamar talk about a deal. Because guess what? He still ain't got paid, folks. He hasn't talked about his deal. They've been very quiet about that. They haven't talked about players coming back. Before they signed, I can't remember who it was, Zadarius Smith, we thought they were signing him. Before they signed him, they were super quiet. You didn't know what was going on. Marcus Williams, obviously safety, another guy they got. I just think they could be like that quiet move this year, man, to just win it all. And it's finally Lamar's turn. Last year, start of the season, is Lamar going to do it this year? Is this year he beats Patrick Mahomes? He beats Patrick Mahomes last year, but everybody gets hurt. I think they could be the team.
AFC West is the best.
Yeah.
But they're going to beat the living daylights out of each other. So it's going to be the Bills and the Browns in the AFC Championship game. NFC, I think somehow, some way, the Packers are going to squirrel their way into the final.
7-10.
Okay. Well, I'll throw them out then. How's that?
7-10.
I'll stick with the Niners then. I'll stick with the Niners. But I'm going to take the Super Bowl champions, the Bills.
This is where you have to respect the veteran expertise and professionalism of Russell Wilson, and also he's a damn good quarterback. It's because most times I would say the Chiefs actually have the advantage in the AFC West out the gate because they mow each other. They've been playing together the longest. Hey, you know what? They can get the jump on all the teams in that division. They can get the jump on the Raiders. They can get the jump on the Broncos. They can get the jump on the Chargers. Problem is Russell Wilson is a guy like no other. His professionalism. He's going to be on the same page with those running backs, with those wide receivers, with that offensive line. He's going to get those guys and lead those guys. They're not going to be a team that's trying to find themselves in week 1, week 2, week 3. They're going to be a team that's trying to find themselves now in March, now in April, now in May. And when they come into the season at the end of August, they're going to be ready. So I wanted to jump with the Chiefs, but I think the Broncos will be just right there waiting for them.
Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens next NFL season. I'm more excited for this NFL season than at any point.
I can't wait.
How do you not?
Since I can remember.
When's mini camp?
Yeah, exactly. Guys, just quickly, I just want to get this in. Falcons owner Arthur Blank thanked Matty Ice, calls him a Hall of Famer. Here was the statement. Matt Ryan has been the epitome of a franchise quarterback during his time here in Atlanta. He has represented this organization with great class, professionalism, and leadership, both on and off the field over the past 14 years. It is difficult to overstate what he has meant to me personally, our organization, his teammates, and our fans. That was Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, talking about Matt Ryan. I've always been a fan of, not always, but since their new stadium, I've been a fan of Arthur Blank.
And his $2 hot dogs?
Yes. That is why I root for the Atlanta Falcons and this owner.
And you know why?
I love Home Depot, baby.
And we love Home Depot.
There you go.
But they had the $2
They
Franks.
got like $2 hot dogs, $2 water, $2 everything. And they don't charge their fans an arm and a leg.
Man, those hot dogs were good.
For all that
I'll tell you, man, I'm so happy for Matt Ryan because I think he is in a great spot in Indy. They had him picture day today. They had his number 2 one with the nice white jersey and that Colts blue. It just looked great on him. I think he's going to do great in Indy. I really believe he will.
It just goes back to say, good people deserve good things, and he's a great person.
$55 million guaranteed.
He's been a great person. He deserves good things.
Amen to that. All right, gang. Mass's videos of the days. You got some good ones. I see the list.
Yes, sir.
Peeked ahead. Can't wait for these. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. Bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who's had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, you got to get out to the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. It's the football bowling game. Two of your favorites put together throwing a football at bowling pins. Throw your arm out if you're not be careful, but you can become a champion like my guys up here, Ryan and Braylon, with the bye. And, of course, they got the win in our team corporate party, which you can have your own self. Couple ways to play. Host your corporate party, team building event. 2 ways to play, $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. 10 of your closest friends or family. That costs you $120 for 2 hours, 10 people on a lane. Can't be beating that. And also, if you're thirsty on, they got great stuff at their bars. Multiple full bars, over 100 beers to drink and choose from, and the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your own food in, have a picnic, or even have it delivered. Just get your Foal on right now. Check them out at FoalingWarehouse.com.
Oh, yeah, it is that time of the year. I told you, man, it is short sleeve season, man. No better time than go to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Get in shape, but guess what? Do it at your own pace, man. Fun times, man. They have over 2,000 locations. I plan on visiting, not all 2,000, but some of them, because I just got my membership, the Black Card, $22.99, and I am excited. If $22.99 is too much for you, guess what? $10 is all they're asking
Only
for.
$10.
Only $10. Hey, Sam, me and you, we can go together, brother.
$10.
You know why you and I can go together? You don't even need a membership, because I can take someone every time I go. You just tell me when you're ready, buddy, and we can go together. PlanetFitness.com, or go in person, sign 0 down. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Guys, do videos of the day in just 1 second. I see somebody in the chat here. Does anybody know when Woodward is going to announce the NCAA tickets winner? That's from 9 Drinks. I believe we are qualifying people through Friday.
Yeah,
we're qualifying through Friday, and then they take it from there, these guys that get you the qualifiers. I legitimately don't know how that works. I'm qualifying people through Friday, and then
the guys will take it over.
The guys will take over from there.
If you're qualified, you will be called.
Yes,
don't you worry.
There you go. So we will qualify Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what we'll do.
Sounds good.
And now time for Maz's
Videos of the day.
Hey, you know about my St. Peter's Peacocks, the third number 15 seed to make it into the Sweet 16. Oral Roberts did it last year, and if you go back maybe 10 years prior to that, Florida Gulf Coast did it. So let's see about those Peacocks. Their head coach, Shaheen Holloway, played in the Sweet 16 himself with the Seton Hall Pirates. Someone asked him, hey, St. Peter's, you guys playing all these big boys, how do you not get intimidated?
With Murray State's physicality, you all kind of kept your cool when they kept trying to muscle in. What was the thing that you told them to really try to stay calm when it seemed like they were trying to push you all around?
No, I'm going to say this. It's going to come off a little crazy. I got guys from New Jersey and New York City. You think we scared of anything? You think we worried about guys trying to muscle us and tough us out? We do that. You know, that's who we are. Like, we are a very physical team. Our bodies probably don't look like it, but these guys play very hard and very physical. So that I wasn't worried about at all. You know, we've been playing against bigger teams out the whole time. So them being a little bigger and stronger, it didn't faze us. When you got tough, hard-nosed kids, they ready to play.
That's it. Shaheen Holloway from St. Peter's.
So good.
How do you not?
How do you not?
2 things, man. One, like that East Coast guys, they're different. Don't mess with those East Coast guys unless you're from Detroit. And thing 2, you gotta love a coach who's hoarse when he's at that press conference, because you know he's been out there getting it in. He's been giving it all, man. Gotta love it.
I just love it. And I love them with 12.5 against Purdue.
Our guys,
I believe it. You really think Purdue's going to dominate the hell out of that team? The way they're playing? They got 8 guys that could score. St. Peter's.
I mean, I don't know. They score the basketball at a great clip. The only thing about it is these end of games. You saw it with Michigan State. You know, they were like, what, plus 6.5. They're up 5 with 5 to go.
Yeah.
And then you miss a couple of shots. Duke hits a couple of shots. And then you have 6 free throws at the end of the game. And
do you think they have a chance to win against Purdue?
Yes.
Yeah. I put it to you this way, man.
Then you bet them on the money line.
You can't get
like our guys say.
You can't get into the Sweet 16 like flukish. Like, I mean, you can win one game flukish. You can't get into the Sweet 16. You can't be in games consistent like that in the tournament unless you're good. They beat a Kentucky team, and they didn't look phased. They came into the second round. They didn't look phased. No. They make shots. They play good basketball. They all can score, like you said. Hell no. Hell no, this is not a fluke. They're here because they can play.
They're plus 660 on the money line.
If you look at that Sweet 16 bracket,
there
isn't a game on there that's not a
that's got a chance. Look at the 10 versus the 11. Miami and Iowa State. That's a 10-11. Now, I can't see it from here. Who do they get? Who's the winner of that game?
Providence. I think Providence beats Kansas.
I love Providence.
Yeah.
Kansas don't show me anything.
I think Michigan's got a hell of a chance against Villanova.
I believe it.
They're playing as good a basketball as they've ever played.
I mean, if you believe in omens, the women just beat Villanova yesterday.
I saw that.
That's an omen. That's a little bit of an omen.
I hate to talk like this.
Nah, shoot.
But maybe there's a question we can ask tomorrow. Maybe we can get a basketball guy.
Yeah, sure.
Are they better without Devontae Jones on the floor? Are they better without him?
That Freddie kid looks pretty good.
Frankie, you mean?
Frankie, yeah, him too.
They looked awful in the first 17 minutes of the first game against Colorado State. Mm-hmm. Ever since 3 minutes left in that first half, they've been playing some damn good basketball.
Really like him.
Let me take it in 1998 now. A guy that we all loved here in Detroit and a guy that won a game for UConn. Of course, it's Rip Hamilton.
Anybody get back to you on that?
Not yet. I'm on it.
On it.
1-4, Sean. Try and turn the corner.
They're spreading the court for Elamine. 10 seconds remaining. Elamine off to Bosco. He was blessed. The shot wouldn't drop. Hamilton! No! Another tip! No! Hamilton! Off the buzzer! Yes! Connecticut wins!
Classic.
That's
Hamilton. Who's on the announcer?
Sean McDonough, of
yes.
course. Love Sean McDonough.
Hamilton.
That was a great year. They would go on to be a loaded Duke team that year to win the national championship. Trajan Langdon.
Yep.
Carlos Boozer.
Who's your daddy? Battier.
Battier was young on that team.
My senior year in college. So all my friends, because I was a little stocky when I was in college, all my friends used to call me Khalid El Ermanni. Khalid El Amin from UConn.
I love that.
Mike Dunleavy was
That's
on the team.
Khalid El Ermanni.
Khalid El Ermanni.
They were good, man. That Duke, I don't know how the hell they beat that Duke team.
Wow.
Frankie
The
Collins.
Alaskan Assassin.
Frankie Collins. All right, guys, I got another one for you. If the Lions don't take Malik Willis this year as their quarterback, they might have to wait for this kid.
Don't look at me, look over there.
Oh, dart.
Watch
Look at this kid.
Hold on.
BB.
Come here. I got something for you. Schwam. Boom.
That kid is on.
You know how hard that game is? Because the ball is darn near, because I played at
bigger than his hand.
Dave and Buster's. That ball is darn near the same size as the hole. So most times you throw it, it just bounces back and forth in the hole.
Just like a game at the Jersey Shore, they ask you $1 to put $1 down and try to get the basketball in that tiny little rim.
Can't do it. It's an oval shape.
It's an oval shape. The basketball's warped.
It's like at the St. Joan Fair.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
It looks so easy.
It does. I got one more for you before we go. This is a funny one. This guy might want to take lessons on how to take his boat and take it out of the water.
God, this is
Did you
so
see
good.
this
Yes.
guy?
Man.
Look at this poor bastard.
Why is he still holding on? You know how much that
He
boat
don't want
weighs?
it to crack. He don't want it to crash.
But do you know how much that boat weighs?
Look at him.
Oh my God!
He's got some skin burns.
This poor guy.
He saved it though.
He did.
Poor guy.
And the boat is no worse
Look
for
at
wear.
that. He's tired. He's done.
Oh man, he's gassed.
Let's take the boat out, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Very good. Hell of a day out of you guys today. I'm not going to talk for the
Khalid
next 2
El
hours.
Armani.
I'm done talking now.
Okay, good.
All right.
You have 6 hours.
Malik Willis, number 2 overall to the Detroit Lions. Book it.
I'll take it.
Book it.
Unless the Jags pull a fast one.
Unless the Jags pull a fast one and trade out of there.
I believe it, man. We've had another good show, another fun show. Scott Bischoff, we appreciate you. Wanted to ask him, was he related to Eric Bischoff?
He is.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. I have so many questions to ask this guy now.
We have him back on.
Tom, you asked me. Well, there's your answer right there. He is related. DJ Tom brought that question to text last minute. But great show out of you, Sam, Alex, Uncle Maz. Uncle Maz with all these random trade scenarios. I like them. They were very good. Ryan, you've been killing it, man. Long day for you.
It's all good, man.
Go home to Liddy and Lukey.
That's it.
There you go, buddy.
Daddy's going to bed early tonight.
We appreciate you guys. We love you out there, man. Keep supporting us. We'll keep supporting you, man. That's the bottom line.
Say that again. His first three-point make of the night. Killian Hayes. Oh, left-handed flush. The runway was clear. We are tied at 101.